Hey guys, Dan here. In this video here, I want to do a video game review of Tony Hawk's Underground. This will be my 100th video on my YouTube channel. I can't believe I made it this far already. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Underground had a lot of nostalgia value. I want to do a quick overview and review of this game here for Tony Hawk's Underground. Alright, Tony Hawk's Underground here came out in 2003. It came out for the Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube. The version I played mostly was the Nintendo GameCube. It was good on all the other platforms too, but like there's different modes you can play. Like for example, you can do story mode, which is like a career mode, or you can do free skate, play as any pro skaters like Tony Hawk, or like one of my favorite persons, Bam Margera. I was a big fan of him when I was younger because I watched him in Jackass and in Viva La Bam. But you can also do create a park, which is fun to do, or you can do a create a trick, which is make up your own moves and everything, which is pretty cool. But by far the best thing, my favorite thing to do in the game was do the story mode. You're just a young and up-and-coming skater trying to work your way up and everything. It's you and your friend Eric. Eric is your best friend, quote unquote, but he always backstabs you as you go throughout the story mode. Like you start off in New Jersey, then you go to like New York, then you go off to different places like Hawaii, Russia, Vancouver, and stuff like that. San Diego, just to name a few spots you go to throughout the story mode and everything. But yeah, you start off in New Jersey, got an impressive skater, one of the pros. You got to impress the locals. You got to just do whatever you can just to make your presence known and do good on working on your tricks and everything. But also too, Eric decides to blow up one of the drug dealers' cars, so then you have to flee off to New York. But as you progress through each of the levels, like you run into a pro to show you how to do different things, or have someone show you do a different trick and everything, or just want to do everything you can to impress the locals pretty much in each level and everything as you progress and everything. But also too, you're trying to earn like a sponsor and everything too, so you had to make a video for Peralta to make a nice video and everything. You get a lot of good footage when you're in New York with their help with Eric at the time. You get your sponsorship from Peralta, but you had to get down to Tampa Bay, so you had to do a lot of errands. So in the story mode, you pretty much do a lot of errands and a lot of different things for like pros and everything, or just like your manager and everything. But as you go on more and more, you develop more and more. But it's pretty cool and everything. But also too, this game shows off like different modes and new modes, like not modes, but like new things you can do. Like for example, you can, for the first time in Tony Hawk's games, you can get off your skateboard and you can actually walk around, run around, and also too, you can drive around in a lot of these levels. There's a driving segment. Like for example, in New York, you have to overheat a car and then ditch it into the river, or when you're in New Jersey, you had to go do street races, do a street race and everything, press them. And then also too, when you're off your skateboard, you can also too just do a lot of climbing stuff, get a lot of stolen items back, or retrieving people lost items and everything. And also too, like with the best friend Eric, I said earlier, he gets to sign you up for the demo in Tampa Bay, so you had to earn your way in by impressing Tony Hawk. Then you end up smoking him and beating him in the demo. Then that gets you a lot of interest in different teams to finally get your amateur status. And then also somehow Eric ends up on your team, tries to be good and everything. And then he just ultimately backstabs you when he doesn't put footage from Hawaii in with the video in Vancouver. To put it all together, he screws you, keeps it up, and then he gets to go to pro contest, and then you had to go for amateur. But then you just secretly put yourself as a pro and beat everyone in the pros, and then that's how you earn your pro, and then you dominate everyone at the City Slam Jam. But yeah, right as you progress through the levels, is like your character gets better too, and the more moves you do, the more better you get. For example, you work on your jumping, like on the ramps and everything, getting higher. You get your height gets better. like airtime gets better. Now, if you're working on grinding the rails, you get better on that. And then also too, you just as when you go through story mode and everything. When you're in Russia, Eric decides to get drunk and hijack a tank, and then leaves you locked in there. Once it goes bad, you get kicked off the team, and then you have to restart up a new team with different skaters and make your own video. And then also too, like Eric taunts you by saying, "Oh, I got your footage here." Then you have to beat his line and everything, like copy him and follow his line and everything to get the footage back. But one pretty cool thing is like if you beat the game more than once in the harder modes, they can just instead of following him, you just elbow him in the face and get the footage back, which is pretty cool and what he gets rightfully deserved. Also too, this game has a lot of different unlockables. Like you can unlock the Kiss level once you beat the game and everything. It's pretty cool. It's a Kiss themed skate park. You can drive on a little buggy, drop off jumps with it, or you just go grinding, go on stage. Then if you get the letters KISS, it unlocks a music video from Kiss, which is pretty cool. Also too, another thing I like to do is the creative park. Like I do half pipes, quarter pipes, and then a lot of rails so I can grind and everything. But yeah, just like a lot of things I like to do in the game, or spine transfers or hip transfers, just to do a lot of fun stuff, and also just kind of F around when I do that too. And also too, I like to create a trick I made. So the McTwist, I make the McAndrew, and it's fun to do and everything. But this game overall, I get an 8 out of 10. Just the graphics just don't hold up as they do. Like a lot of the other games do better, but this game has a lot of replayability. Like you said, after you beat the game on story mode, you can just play around all the different levels, look at different things that you haven't done. But that's what I would like to do and everything, and that's pretty much it for Tony Hawk Underground. If I forgot anything, please let me know in the comments here below. This video is also brought to you by Doobie Energy Drinks. Feeling tired, have no energy, I recommend you have them. I do that to help me make these videos here. Keep me energized throughout everything. But yeah, just give them I'll leave a link in the description. If you use promo code Dan19 at checkout, you get 10% off your order. Give them a try. I'm also on Discord. But yeah, this is Tony Hawk Underground game review. Please like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.